Hello everyone, third time lucky now, okay? This is gonna work, and I know it will because I think I fixed it. I think we fixed it. So I'm gonna wait for Claire to join really quickly and then we can get started. So let me just see if Claire will join. I see a couple of people already watching. Hey. So this is another episode of Quiz Your Biz with me, Reece Smith from Peach Media. It's great to be here. Great to interview some people again. So I'm going to try and get our guest on today. Everyone, thank you for being patient and waiting while we try to get everything sorted. Okay, bear with me 2 seconds. Do you want to request to join again, Claire? Let's see if it works. This better work. Matthew, pipe down, please. This is why I don't have personal friends on my Facebook, like football friends. If you request to join, Claire, and then hopefully this will all work and go perfectly for me. Because if it doesn't, I will cry and I might have to get somebody else on camera with me. Right. So Claire has requested to join. Approve. Come on. Hey everyone who's saying hi. Sorry, I'm not ignoring you. I am just trying to get this sorted. Hello.
Hello!
It's working.
Yay!
Finally.
That was a
Third
bit of
time
a
lucky.
palaver, wasn't it?
We finally got it working.
Yes.
Finally. Third time lucky.
Yes.
So everyone welcome to Quiz Biz. I am going to let this guest introduce herself because I think that would be the best thing to do here. So yeah, tell us who you are and what you do.
Well, the who am I bit is really easy. So my name's that bit I can definitely do quite easily. My name's Claire Russell. And in terms of what I do, well, that's kind of changed in the last couple of weeks. And so this is a really well-timed interview. So I'm really pleased to be doing. I say it's changed. It hasn't changed, but I have launched a new business
Yeah.
just a couple of weeks ago. So that and that is kind of my main focus really just now. So I launched a new business on the 10th of September. Which some of you may be aware was World Suicide Prevention Day. And I launched a new business on that day, which is the name of the business is Claire Russell Limited. It's in my name, and the business is it's the fundamental sort of mission of the business is all about reducing the number of people that die by suicide. It's about putting a focus on mental health, changing the conversation around mental health, and helping businesses and organisations to embed a really positive culture around mental health in which they will talk more openly about the things that they're dealing with.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely a big change because I've known you I think we've known each other for about a year now, haven't we? I
Yeah.
think it has been. Yeah, and you helped me obviously with my business when I first started up. So I know it's been a big change for yourself and it seems everything's going well. So see, I will ask this and I know the answer already. What made you sort of start doing this? What made the change?
So, I mean, to be clear, I'm still involved in my other businesses as
Yeah.
well. So I'm just making making myself all the more busy. I haven't kind of left anything behind. I'm still very involved in the financial services industry, which
Yeah.
I have been for about 20 years, and I still do a bit of coaching and an awful lot of volunteering. So this business I'm doing alongside those things. Um, I I lost my partner to suicide earlier on this year, and um, I've done a lot of volunteering in that space. I've
Yeah.
volunteered with Samaritans for a number of years, and I've supported hundreds of people during that time that have had mental health issues, and some people that have been dealing with suicidal thoughts. Having lost my partner to suicide, um, obviously, gives you a very different perspective on things.
Yeah.
And, it's been a pretty horrific 6 months, as you can probably imagine. But, there was an overwhelming drive really for me to want to do something um, positive out of that, really, and to use my
Yeah.
experience in a positive way and be able to help to help people really. So that's kind of the driver behind doing what I'm doing.
I know you definitely will be helping people because, yeah, like I said, you've helped me, and I know being obviously in a business industry that it can get tough, and I know that there isn't a great deal of support out there for some people, or people don't like to reach out for the support. So it's nice to see, obviously, somebody that I know trying to help out as well. Definitely.
Yeah.
So have you got something big lined up with, obviously, with recently launching? Is there something big coming that you're working on, or are we not allowed to know?
Oh my goodness, there's so much. There's so much, Reese. I was having conversations with lots of potential clients pre-launch,
Yeah,
and so I'm looking. It's looking like I'm going to have a couple of very large clients very quickly, which is amazing, absolutely amazing.
that's good.
You know what? I've got a really big corporate network. I've been in the
Yeah,
corporate world for 20 years, and you know what became really clear to me was that I could really use my corporate network um, in a really positive way. So you know, I'm talking to people and organisations that I've known for years and years,
yeah,
and asking them to let me come in and help them, and to work with them, to from a mental health perspective, and the response has just been overwhelmingly positive. In terms of something big that's coming, it is World Mental Health Day on the 10th of October.
yeah,
So we will be doing a number of things in the run up to the 10th of October, and there's something which at the moment is top secret, but we'll be launching something
yeah.
um, uh, on the 10th of October, or maybe in a couple of days before that. So you'll have to keep watching to find out what that is.
That's gonna make everyone to watch because now I want to find out what it is because I'm one of
Yeah.
them people who have to know what it is. But yeah, make sure everyone's watching out on the 10th of October
Yeah.
because that would definitely something big. So obviously you mentioned that you are also in the financial sort of sector. What do you do when it comes to that? What do you currently do
Well,
with that, obviously that sector?
I mean, I've been an insurance broker literally since I left school, and I started my first business in the financial services industry
Yeah.
when I was just 20, which is
Gosh,
almost 20 years ago. So, it's my 40th birthday in March. So it's,
never think that.
um, so I've been in that industry for a very long time.
Yeah.
I and I still am. I'm the strategic development director at Perry Appleton Risk Services, which is a business that a fellow 4N member, Simon Leach, is one of the owners and directors of. So I work still with him,
Yeah.
and do lots of stuff still in that industry. So I keep busy in that space as well.
I think you are possibly one of the busiest people I've ever met because I know that obviously when you helped me out there all the months ago, I know it was very much, oh, I'm just going to have to go here. I'm just doing this. I'm just doing that.
Yeah.
So I definitely think you are the busiest person I've ever met. So obviously because you've been in because you've been in business for obviously for 20 years now, if you could go back to sort of day one and give yourself one bit of advice, what would that bit of advice be?
Oh my God. Well, that's easy. It's easy. You don't have to do it all yourself. And um, when you identify what your own strengths and weaknesses are,
Yeah.
don't be afraid to then get support with the stuff that you're not good at yourself. I've realized it's taken me this long, it's taken me nearly 20 years of being in business to not be such a control freak. I spent nearly 20 years being a complete control freak, having to do it
Yeah.
all myself, thinking I could do it better myself. And the reality is there's loads of things that I'm not good at. I'm
Yeah.
a great ideas person. I'm a great I'm good at presenting and standing on stage, and doing all of that kind of stuff, but I'm not a good person behind the scenes. I don't I'm
Yeah.
rubbish at anything sort of administrative. It's really not my forte. So I've got much better at asking for support where I need it. And I think if I could go back to when I was
Yeah.
starting my first business all those years ago, that would be the thing I would tell myself.
I think I would agree with that one. Even though I've only been in a couple of years, I think, yeah, it's that holding back, isn't it? And thinking you can do it all yourself because you are a business owner. And then you realize, actually, do you know what? Maybe getting somebody else's advice on this will help a lot. And it
Yeah,
does. It does
yeah.
help massively. So staying on the same sort of thing about tips and advice, what would be your three top tips for people listening? But it's up to you whether you want to, which sector you want to do it in, whether you want to do it with your new things, or if you want to go back to the financial sector. If you could give three tips to everybody listening, what would they be?
Um, it's a bit cliche, really. What I'm about to say is a bit cliche, but it rings very true for me. I think find what you love,
Yeah,
and do what you love, and don't be afraid to change direction.
yeah,
I've had a few changes of direction over the years, and I've tried some things that haven't worked, and I think, don't be afraid to do that, and to make some mistakes along the way while you find what it is that you love. I've been really fortunate in that I've found a number of
yeah,
things that I love. All of the things that I now do, I truly love and enjoy what I do. So I do work really
yeah,
hard, and I have weeks where I don't get very much sleep, but I love what I
yeah,
do, so it doesn't feel as hard work if you're doing something that you know you would do if you weren't getting paid for it anyway. So that's
yeah,
probably my number one tip. Um, my second tip, really, it's a reiteration of what we were talking about, is but perhaps just a bit more broadly, ask for advice and support,
yeah,
from the professionals. um, Going right back to the beginning, I wish I'd done more of that in the early days,
yeah,
and got proper financial advice, and proper coaching and business planning advice. I didn't invest in coaching for myself until only in the last couple of years.
yeah,
I wish I'd done that earlier. I wish I'd done that earlier in my career, because I think I would have had more success,
yeah.
if I'd done that. And then my third one is just never stop learning, and never stop looking at how you can develop yourself individually. I'm about to start yet another course next week, so it's another kind of professional training course that I'm doing, just to
Yeah,
add to my knowledge, really. I don't know how I'm going to find time to do that on top of everything else, but I will somehow squeeze it in. But I think it's really important, whatever business that you're in, that
yeah,
you are constantly keeping on top of whatever's relevant in your industry, but also how you develop as a person.
definitely. Yeah, they are three definitely top bits of advice. And I think the whole sort of helping, asking for help is definitely one of the most important things. I think some people are scared to ask for advice and support when it comes to business, anything, can't they? But it's definitely
Yeah,
one thing that more people need to do, and I would recommend it straight away, is getting advice straight away. It's the one thing. I'm still obviously only in 2 years in my business, and if I've not got advice, it would have been a lot harder than obviously if I didn't get the advice.
yeah,
Definitely.
definitely.
So I've not got any more questions, but I will put it out there to anybody watching, if they've got any questions for Claire, to get them in quickly now. Obviously, if we don't get through them all, there will be time. I'm sure Claire will reply to some of the comments. Let's
Yeah,
have a. I'll,
definitely.
I'll scroll through some of the comments really quickly because a lot of people saying hi. Let's say Rosie said, "Whoa, you're so strong." Connor said, one of the best friends I ever had took his own life. I still miss him all these years later." Which obviously is tough.
Yeah,
Kerry said,
absolutely.
we didn't do well on that insurance quiz though, Claire. I'm guessing that's an inside thing there for you too.
We were at a 4N meeting, and the person that was doing the foresight did an awesome foresight, actually, but they did a
Mm,
quiz on it was more kind of life insurance stuff, but it was,
yeah.
yeah, it was an insurance quiz, and Kerry chose me for her team, thinking that it would mean that she would do well, and we didn't do very well at all.
I was wondering, I saw that comment come through when you were speaking. I was like, oh, I wonder what that's about.
Yeah,
What
we
else
didn't
have we
do
got?
great.
So John said, no way you are 40. Dun-
I'll take that.
Duncan said Simon is awesome. Kerry said love Simon. Connor said I thought you were only in your mid-20s. So lots and lots of compliments here for you. Ben Kelly said, Claire, you're the strongest person I know. Sally said hi, and then Rose said, I've got to go back to work. Interesting Q&A, good advice about finding to do what you love. Ben said, how do you personally stay so strong? Amazing.
Well, I'll answer that as a question, shall I?
Yeah.
I get that a lot. And I think that people assume that, there's some magic or some secret to it. And,
Yeah.
we all, as human beings, we all are naturally built to be resilient. It's how we're made.
Yeah.
We're built for survival. And I think that we lose sight of that. I've been through some pretty tough things in the last few years, but I never doubted my ability to overcome those. I think for me personally, I find strength in finding a purpose in the things that happen. So every sort of issue or problem or adversity that I've faced over the years, I've looked for, what's the purpose in this? What is this going to teach me? What can I learn from this, and what can I take from this to help other people? And that gives me the resilience to carry on. If I think, right, okay, I can learn something from this and take something really positive out of it, then that helps me to become more resilient and stronger.
That's a really good answer. Good answer. I will leave question wise for that because there's no more coming in at the moment.
Okay.
Oh no, Ben said I totally get that. Find the purpose in things. Yeah, I do agree with that. But obviously this interview has been a lot different to what I normally do. I think I don't even think this is just for business owners. I think anybody can use this interview to help themselves, because obviously there's been lots of great advice in there for anybody who. It is really anybody, isn't it? Not just people who are currently struggling, people who just need to get that little bit of push, just anything.
Absolutely.
So
yeah,
definitely. I think you've been one of my best guests, but I think that's a bit cliche because I've only actually had 3 guests. So you are easily one of the best anyway, but yeah.
Well, it's been a pleasure. I've really enjoyed it. Thank you.
It has. And I'm so glad we finally got it working.
Yeah, me too. Sorry about that.
It was so hard. That was all right, don't worry. So yeah, I'll leave it there. If anybody's got any more questions, pop them in the comments below, and I'm sure Claire will get back to them when she has got some time, but she is one busy person. So I do feel privileged to have you on this interview.
Yeah, okay, I'll definitely do that.
Yeah? Okay, well, I will leave that there. And obviously, if anybody wants to catch any of the interviews that we've done, me, Dan, or Rachel have done previously, go to quizyourbiz.com and you'll find them all there. So yeah, that's me, and that is Claire, and we'll catch everybody